My name is Slavka, I'm from Alabama, and this channel is about living, traveling, and learning. See you on the road.
What's up, guys? New day, new load. Our young friend found me a nice load. We're picking up right now, heading towards Grand Forks, North Dakota. Gonna be like right on the Minnesota line. We're gonna do first pickup there, and then a second pickup in Fargo, South Dakota, and then that load is heading to Tucson, Arizona, heading south again. This load is paying $5,500 on 1,900 miles. We'll probably, today's Thursday, so I'll probably be delivering Monday, I would imagine, because the facility's closed there over the weekend anyway. So that's where we at. We're still in Minnesota. The weather is beautiful. They have this Indian summer thing going here. We're heading about 200 miles some north right now, almost all the way up to Canadian border to do first pickup. So there's going to be two shippers, one receiver, basically. That's the plan. Anyways, I'll get you guys updated once we get closer to the shipper. We're almost at the shipper, getting on US Highway 2. And if you guys know your highway indexing, not the interstates, but the lowest highway number, an even number, that's east-west highway, that's the northernmost. Like, for example, Highway 2 is the northernmost highway that goes along the Canadian border, basically. And Highway 98, for example, goes along the Gulf Coast. That's the southernmost, and it kind of goes down to Florida and around towards Tampa, and just basically hugs around the southern portion of the United States. Highway 2 does the same thing on the northern portion, so pretty much Canadian border is like within 20-30 miles, no further than that. To your right. Yeah. And the interstate indexing is the other way around. For example, from east to west, you have odd numbered highway numbers, starting with the high numbers. So the east, you have the Highway 95, that's a coastal one, and all the way on the west coast, north-south highway is 5, and then east-west highways are even numbers, just like, and starting from low number in the south, like Interstate 10 is the southernmost interstate, and just a second. Interstate 90 is the northernmost. So, and another distinction, the highway can be basically any road. It's a combination of roads. It could be several different roads stitched together called US Highway. The freeway, the difference between the freeway and the highway is that in the freeway, you never have any intersections, or you never have traffic stops, so to speak. So there's on-ramps, off-ramps, but any kind of crossing traffic goes over or under. Whereas on the highway, you go through towns, you go through cities, you have street lights, you can have all that. That's basically, the highway system was long before freeways were built in the 1950s through 1970s, like Eisenhower interstate projects and all that. So the old US highways, the ones I always go to, that's the roads that were stitched together back in the 20s and 30s, and that's how people traveled back then when the first automobiles and trucks started to appear in the mass market. There we go. So we just pull in here and go get a scale ticket from a weight master. Says, please stay in the truck until given other notice. Thank you, sir. Yep. large scale ticket. I think we now get to back in. I think, yeah, we'll clear that guy. Now we're gonna get loaded. Alright, lined up. And then we're gonna shoot in reverse. I'm just gonna get up a little bit closer. I still gotta open doors and all that. My back hurts like a motherfucker right now. I'm having another one of those episodes of, and it happens to me a couple times a year. In fact, I'll tell you guys a story, what happened to me yesterday. Anyways, I gotta get this sorted and I'll tell you the story, so I'll see you in a second. So anyways, I'm getting loaded now. I can tell you a little story what happened to me yesterday. I called day off. I have this condition, and then just from the fact that I'm sitting and driving a lot, my back muscles spasm, and I get this periods of like a week or so where like all my, I don't know what they call it, but the back muscles, they go in your back towards your butt and like some in the legs, they just stiffen up like a Charlie horse, you know, just like stiff as fuck, and won't let go, and it's just extremely painful and very hard to walk and do anything. You can just kind of freeze yourself in one position and you don't want to move. So when that happens, I have a prescription. I take they have this like anti-inflammation and muscle relaxant. Well, the muscle relaxant I'm taking normally like a 5 milligram tablet. It's very light, so I can take one, and it's like, you know, it's not narcotic. You don't get high off it. You don't get loopy or anything. It's just, you know, you kind of loosens up your muscles, so you don't have. So I sometimes when I have that, I take that in the morning, so I can get through my day. Well, yesterday I take one. And then, because I'm having this back pain and all that shit, and I go get a shower, and then I come back to the truck, and I'm dizzy as fuck, and I'm just like, whoa, you know, I barely like raising my arm and like trying to limp as fuck, and I'm trying to open the door. I'm like, that's not right. And then I realized the prescription I picked up a week ago, because I ran out of my old thing. The strength in the tablet was twice the normal one, so I'm just like, fuck. At that point, you know, it was just like so limp-wristed. I'm not driving, and I'm kind of a bit dizzy at that point. So I told my dispatch I'm taking the day off. Well, we got loaded at our first pickup. I was kind of anticipating a little bit less freight. It's almost a full truckload. There's we have maybe 6,000 pounds left of free capacity, and maybe 10 feet in the trailer. So second pickup cannot be more than 2 pallets at least. At least the product I have for each pallet is at least 2,500 pounds. So probably 2 pallets is the most I can take on. But anyways, we're leaving Minnesota. We're entering North Dakota in a few seconds. We're going to cross Red River, and that's the border between Minnesota and North Dakota. So we're at the far northwestern corner of Minnesota, or northeastern corner of the North Dakota. I'm gonna get on Interstate 29 and head south towards Fargo, South Dakota. So my next pickup's at tomorrow morning. Well, I'm getting loaded second PU right now. They're only putting 4 pallets on. I have a feeling it's going to be overgrowth, so I'm going to have to go scale this on the actual cat scale. I don't think, you know, just I need to know for sure. But here's the route plan. So I'm in the Fargo, North Dakota, right here. And we're going all the way down to Tucson, Arizona, which is down here. It's near Phoenix, Arizona, just 40 miles something. Anyways, taking 29 south and short of Sioux Falls, we're getting on the 81, US Route 81, and going through South Dakota, going through Nebraska, all the way down to Kansas. And then we're cutting across on the US 70, just a tiny bit in Kansas, then on US 56 across the entire Kansas, getting in Oklahoma here, continuing in US 54. There's a chunk of Texas right here we're passing through, then getting in New Mexico, catching I-40 in New Mexico, going for a dozen miles there, then continuing 54 all the way down to Las Cruces. And we were here, this is where the White Sands National Missile Proving Grounds and the Air Force Base we've been at just a few months ago, and that's where we're catching I-10 and heading all the way to past Demon, New Mexico to Tucson, and that's our final right there. So this trip, I don't know, depending on the weight, I'm going to be near max weight. There's going to be a few mountains here and there. Yeah, it's going to be, we're going to go about 500 miles a day average, I assume, so that we got 1,600, so 3 days. Today is Friday, so we'll drive some today, Saturday, Sunday, and we should be good on Monday for delivery. We'll just finish up the remaining couple hundred miles and deliver on Monday, which works out because the receiver does not open until Monday anyway, so we should be there. So barring any problems, it's over a weekend load, and we get paid $5,500. Not bad for a weekend. What do you say, guys? Well, here's the full load with both pickups. It's way too heavy. Oh man, I could just tell how compressed the tires are. Waiting for the airbags to inflate. Well, let's see the final result. Woo! Oh yeah, I'm almost 2,000 pounds overweight on those, and I'm near the limit on those. So yeah, 2 pallets gonna have to come off, or at least 1. I don't know. I'm gonna go get a certified cat scale, because at this point, you know, I'm just gonna go. This is gonna have to be documented so I can send it to the broker. They're not gonna believe me until there's a printout or something. So let's go do that. It's unfortunate, more bullshit run around, but that's the name of the game, you know. Whatever point in this load probably didn't account for the weight of pallets and other shit, because that adds up. It happens. People just go trying to maximize that profit by stuffing as much product as possible into a trailer. They forget that there's like 2,000-3,000 pounds of packaging and other crap that comes with it. So, alright guys, I'm gonna go close the door. We're gonna go get cat scale. Well, as predicted, heading back to our second ship, or taking a pallet off. Half a day wasted, of course. You know, it's already noon. When we started this whole thing at 8:30 a.m. Oh well. Anyways, yeah, we gotta lose that pallet. We're overgross. There's no way to fix it. On top of that, I'm only half fuel, so if I top off my tanks, which I will before going to the desert there, I want a full tanks. I would have to basically I'll be over 1,000 pounds over, so that's not kosher at all. Alrighty guys, we're gonna pull in and get the pallet dumped and continue our trip. Well, the Indian summer only lasted a few days in North Dakota and Minnesota. Now it's true fall. Rainy, drowsy, and in the low 60s for this time of year. That's about right. But I'm not upset over it because I'm heading to Tucson, Arizona, and it's going to be 102 degrees there in the desert. So in a day or so, it's going to get hot again. It's going to change climate over in the process of one day. Anyways, finally settled our problems with the load balance and all that. They took off the pallet, and as you can see, we're heading down the highway, heading straight south. So that's the general direction going to be holding until we get to Kansas. Then we're going to basically continue southwest. Good morning. Today is October 2nd, and we continue our trip south towards Tucson, Arizona. We're currently passing some cornfields in Nebraska. Yesterday, we finally got our load settled. We had some problems there, getting overweight on the overly ambitious brokers trying to overload the truck. But anyways, yesterday I went through North Dakota, South Dakota, and I got into, by the late evening, I got into Nebraska, around Norfolk, Nebraska. So today we keep rolling on US 81. We're going to cross into Kansas in about an hour and a half, and then going to continue across Kansas into Oklahoma, and then Texas, and then New Mexico. So I think today plan is we're going to get to probably Oklahoma or Texas somewhere, or maybe even New Mexico. I'll see how I feel about it. But yeah, we're going to put in another 500, 600 miles today. This entire trip mostly is going to be on U.S. state routes. We're not going to be visiting big cities at all. We're just going to be rolling through, for now, prairies and fields, and later in the day probably going to be more desert, and tomorrow desert for sure. So it's going to be interesting. The weather's kind of overcast today. 64 degrees. It's a little bit cooler now. Definitely feels like the fall day. It's October, of course. But I'm not losing my shorts and t-shirts yet, because once we get into New Mexico towards Arizona, it's over 100 degrees there. So we're gonna use our air conditioner still. Southwestern Kansas, quite a stark difference. Minus the trees, it's all open prairies. Another 100 some miles is going to be desert. We're going to be in Oklahoma in about 120 miles at that panhandle part of it, and then shortly thereafter in Texas. So yeah, that area is completely desert. This is kind of already arid area, but it's still cultivated and used for crops. We're entering Dodge City, Kansas. The infamous Dodge City, and all the Wild West shooters like Wyatt Earp and all Santa Fe Trail, all the cowboy and outlaws movies in Hollywood. Dodge City has been prominently featured. Oh wow, there's a huge national beef factory. Oh, that's why. I was wondering what's up with all the reefer trailers. Oh my God, this guy's an asshole. Fucking A. Wow, you guys saw that? I could barely slow down. This dipshit. I'm going downhill in a loaded truck. This motherfucker just pulls out. Just lollygagging. Just, if you're gonna fucking cut the truck off, don't sit there like a deer in the headlights. What a dumbass. Now, of course, he's gonna go like 10 miles below speed limit now. This is kind of shit. Like, once or twice a day, like literally your butthole sinks into your into the seat, because you get the dumbass like this. Yeah, we're going 45 and 65 now. It's not even going 45. What a jackass. We could have just ended up in a massive wreck, and I have 44 tons on me, and going downhill, and this idiot pulls out. Like, what the hell? Couldn't have waited like 10 seconds for a truck to pass. No. Fucking moron. And he's flipping me the bird. Oh God, there's some really stupid people. I don't know how he lived this long so far.
2 miles, turn left onto West Highway 283.
If you guys ever do this kind of shit, you'll really take your life in your hands. Cause I hit full brakes and I'm still rolling. I mean, there's no way I'm stopping 44 tons or 24 tons. I'm sorry. I have 79,800 pounds. I'm going 45 miles per hour, down 6% grade, and this asshole pulls out with his whatever he's towing, his truck, and just expects me to like disappear. I don't know. As we navigate the prairies of central New Mexico, I want to do a shout out to my old-time friend Rev One Will. He's my friend from Ohio and a subscriber, and been watching all my episodes. Rev, I appreciate it. Your comments, always appreciate it. But here's the thing, Rev. I'm near Roswell, New Mexico. So this area,
Right curve ahead.
as you know, supposedly the site of the 1947 UFO crash, according to a local folklore. And there's a little dusty town of Roswell, New Mexico past that had International UFO Research and Museum.
Speed warning.
My thoughts on this, Rev?
Speed warning.
Oh my God, this GPS is just one shut the fuck up. Sorry about it. I think it's coincidental. I don't think there was real UFO. Here's the reason why. To the east of Roswell, New Mexico, about 65 miles, there's a Cannon Air Force Base. To the west, there's Holloman Air Force Base, about 40 some miles. There's a White Sands missile proving grounds nearby. There are a bunch of other military installations in this desolate area. As you can see, there's nobody around here. There's just hundreds of miles of open prairie and hardly any kind of human beings living here because it's just basically a desert. Chances are, whatever that farmer found or rancher in 1947 was some kind of debris from some drone or some other shit that the military was using for target practice or whatever the hell they were launching there. Because I'll be honest with you, I go to all these places. I go deliver in Holloman Air Force Base. I've been to Cannon Air Force Base. I've been all over this area. I've been near Area 51 in Nevada. Many times I've, just by virtue of working there, I'm not saying I went into Area 51. I've been nearby, like within the town of Primm, Nevada, which is right on the outskirts. So I think a lot of this is invented because it's one way these little dusty off the beaten path road towns make money because they get to sell some souvenirs, postcards, some keychains and other bullshit. Like city of Roswell, an hour and a half from I-40. I mean, it's like way out of the way. There's nobody goes there. There's no tourist traffic. So other than people may be interested in a UFO phenomenon, so that naturally kind of puts it as a landmark on the map. So I think that's why the mythology is perpetuated. I think it's just purely for commercial reasons, just like the Halloween or any other of these card holidays. It's like we accept, that we go to haunted house to get scared, but we know the ghosts don't exist. Maybe some people believe in it, but others don't. But even if you don't believe in ghosts, it's still fun to go to a haunted house. I'm not denying that. So same I think with this whole UFO phenomenon. A lot of it, I think, is just, you know, a commercially developed mythological kind of locations, and that's about all it is, because it ultimately all results in the sales of whatever it may be, magazines, media, keychains, phone cards. I mean, you go around Prim, Nevada. I'm sorry, not Prim. I forgot the name, but there's an Area 51 stored museum. I mean, and the brothel, all in the same freaking place. Crazy shit. It's all just tourist trap, all of it. Same with Roswell, New Mexico. There's just a dusty souvenir shop. You can buy a saucer-shaped plate for your tea, you know, and then a coffee mug and stupid shit like that. So I don't think you guys need to, you know, don't dive into a deep end on this shit, because a lot of it is just invented. These radio hosts that exist, like that AM radio, that's all bullshit. I mean, it's just, guy makes money because there's a bunch of people calling in. He sells advertisements, promotions, and other things. So it's all commercial projects. So Rev, like I said, don't go down the rabbit hole, man. It's a lot of this stuff is just made up, man. Anyways, I hope you have a good day, and let me know what you think about it in the comments, dude. Alright, boys and girls, let's go through one of the numerous border inspection checkpoints along the I-10. These are very common in western Texas, southern western Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California. Every so many miles along the I-10, because it's the closest to the Mexico border. At some points here, Mexico is only a few miles out to my left. They have these checkpoints on all the major highways going into the interior of the United States, so north and south, within like 80 to 100 miles from the border, and then along the I-10 itself, all the secondary roads, same thing. So a lot of times they just flag you through. Sometimes they ask your citizenship. Sometimes they want to look under your truck with a flashlight or above the cap. There have been instances where illegals climb on the top of a cab because the semi has this aerodynamic cap on top. I keep padlock on my trailer primarily just for that reason, so people can't open it and climb in. Because I operate a lot along the southern border. It's pretty much, you know, it's very common for me to be around the Mexican border at least once every other week, if not more frequently. You know, I stop at night sometimes at the truck stop that's only 2 miles from the border. I can see the fence when I wake up. So there have been cases where, you know, illegals come in, climb in a trailer. They just walk over, climb in the trailer, and then hope that the truck goes north somewhere to take them. But I don't want to be that guy that ends up at one of these inspection areas with a load of humans in there. That'll be deep shit. So anyways, we're just creeping up to the inspection station right now in the convoy of trucks. They have these camera systems, as you can see right there. There's infrared, all kinds of. They take a picture of every truck. You know, your license plate is scanned automatically, classified. I'm sure their computer is tracking all the vehicles. And as you go along the road, there are cameras everywhere. So I'm sure that the Department of Homeland Security and all that knows like every inch you move on the road, where you're going, where you came from. Yeah, he just waved me through because he's just looking at the computer, and you know, if there's some kind of red flag, like I usually get stopped if I've been loaded at Laredo or somewhere around that area. Sometimes they stop me. They'll just talk to me, you know, like it's very quick, polite. But generally, they know from which direction you came because of the cameras. You know, the computer already knows you're. If you came from a direction of the north, well, you know, they have no issue with you because it's, you know, you're not going to be hauling illegal immigrants to the south. So I think that's how it works. I mean, I'm not sure. If anybody, one of you guys have somebody worked or works or have a relative that works at the Border Patrol and can explain how these checkpoints work, that would be awesome. Put it in the comments. I would love to learn, but I'm pretty sure that's a classified system. I don't think that they're gonna reveal exact methods of how they screen the trucks and all the freight. So that's now let me pass a bunch of these guys. They're all company trucks. They're slow as shit. We're gonna get our groove on, get going. Around here speed limit 75, so what I do is I set cruise control to 77 or so. Keeps me above the bullshit, because you know, here's the thing, all these company guys, they govern, and the problem with that is that they all ride with a maximum throttle. They jam the pedal in, and that's how they sit. They can't, their only hope of passing another truck is if that guy, the other guy, can't go faster than them. And unfortunately what ends up happening, two trucks line up and they both can't, you know, go in the same speed. None of them can go faster, slower. They all go in same speed, and that's it. So being ungoverned, I just avoid that by simply going a little bit faster than most companies' governed trucks are, and that keeps me from plugging up the roads or staying behind these guys that are governed really severely or governed at all. So, all right, we passed all the slow trucks. Oh, that dude's hauling ass. He's probably ungoverned. All right, well, setting cruise control. I'm just gonna continue my trip. There's gonna be another checkpoint as we're gonna come in closer to Arizona, around Nogales down there. So it's not all over. Been battling traffic in Tucson. I'm finally the last final 12 miles have been taking forever getting up the hill, and Tucson is one of those big small cities. I think as many places in the Southwest that experienced huge population growth over the last few years, and I think it's primarily just the people migrating from California, and because it's not far from here. But the main thing is, like, the traffic is pretty bad for a city this size. You would think your Phoenix, larger city nearby, would have worse traffic. Nope. Getting these, there's a lot of cars, a lot of people, kind of chaotic driving in a lot of places. I don't know why it is, but that's how it is here. Anyways, so we're getting close to our receiver. I'm hoping to unload, get this heavy load off my truck, because it does make it difficult to accelerate up the hill. And we'll keep going.